Hi and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. If you are new and you like makeup, beauty, hair or hauls, then please consider subscribing. So for today's video, I'm going to be testing out some makeup that has been very kindly gifted to me from a company called cbeautymall. They have sent me 3 rose colour items. So cbeautymall is a Chinese makeup beauty brand. And they're kind of like an online business where you can buy all different kind of makeup products, not just rose colour. I think there's other brands on there as well. But I have 3 rose colour items. So I've got an eyeshadow palette here. These are stunning, really, really beautiful. I'll show you in more detail in a minute. I've got a blush and I also have a lipstick as well. So we're going to start off with the eyeshadow / face palette. So this is absolutely stunning. I cannot express enough how beautiful this makeup is. So first up, I have the outer packaging here. So this is what it looks like. So it kind of looks like an envelope with this. I think it almost looks a bit like, it reminds me of Bridgerton, that sort of look. So we've got this kind of little cameo type seal on the envelope, if you know what I mean. But it's so beautiful, really, really nice. So the palette itself looks like this. How beautiful is this? So this is kind of like a blush pink colour, almost like a bit of a suede feel material. And then just here we have this like little lacy elastic band across the bottom here. It says COLORROSE there as well. So we undo the elastic and then we open it up and we have this beautiful, beautiful colour story. This is stunning. Really, really beautiful. So we've got like, these are eyeshadows and then this is a highlighter and this is a blush. Really lovely shade of highlighter and blush in there as well. And some really beautiful neutral tones in here too. We've got some kind of like, this one I would say is a bit more on the warmer side, and some really pretty looking shimmers as well. It's, if you look, I can't get over the embossing on them. So it's like that kind of warmer shade down the bottom there. And then on the blush just here, just look at how stunning that is. Really, really nice. I almost don't want to use it because it's so pretty. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to swatch these. One thing I will say about this palette is it's cute, the mirror, but we've got like, it says COLORROSE eyeshadow compact new here, and then a little smiley face, which is cute. But obviously if you're going to use that as a mirror, it's got writing on it. I thought it was like a sticker or something to start off with, but it's not. It's printed on there. But yeah, it's one of those things. Okay, so here's the swatches from the palette. These are so nice. I would say the mattes in particular are really, really beautiful. Really lovely formula. They swatched really nicely. They feel like, you know, a good high quality formula. The shimmers are quite subtle. So we've got this one, we've got this one here. This one, which isn't so subtle and really, really beautiful actually, as is this one, to be fair. This one though, I'll show you in the pan in a minute. This one here is this shade here. So it's a little bit strange. It's kind of like little balls of shimmer. And then it's got this kind of gel over it. And you have to crush these to kind of get the pigment out. And then you're left with this kind of creamy, almost iridescent eyeshadow, which is really, really pretty. This one here is the blush, which is quite a subtle shade, I would say. And this is the highlighter, which looks absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, this one, as I was saying, really, really lovely shimmer. But this one here is tiny, which is a bit odd. But, you know, it's really beautiful. So, you know, swings and roundabouts. Okay, so I'm going to start off by going into, I think I'm actually going to take this shade just here, which is really nice. It's kind of like, I don't know really, but it's a really nice neutral shade. So I'm going to apply this in my crease. Yeah, it's a really beautiful colour actually. It's a perfect shade for in your crease, like it's a transition shade. It's really quite pretty actually, and really nicely buildable as well. When I first put it on, I thought, oh, is that going to be a bit light? But it's really easy to build up. So I'm just going to keep blending this into my crease. Okay, so like that, that's really quite pretty actually, and went on quite effortless as well. So then I'm going to blend out the edge of that colour. I think I'm going to use this shade just here to do that. Okay, so like that has worked so nicely to blend out that shade. Yeah, really, these matte shades are stunning. Really, really lovely formula. So then I'm going to take this shade here, the kind of warmer tone in the corner, and I'm going to use that on the outer half of my lid here and just bring it in through my crease as well. Yeah, that's a really lovely colour as well. I would say that even though the matte shades, obviously that's all I've tried at the moment, but the matte shades are, you know, they perform beautifully. They're really lovely quality, but they are quite a neutral, sort of a subtle neutral, if you know what I mean. It's quite hard to explain. So yeah. If you like that look, which, you know, for me, for like an everyday look, this is perfect, then yeah, it's a stunning palette. But I feel that if you want to, you know, create a more kind of a blown out, really glam look, you haven't really got any deep enough shades in here to do that, if you know what I mean. As I say, it's quite hard to explain, but I'm sure you get where I'm coming from. Right, so I'm going to keep, I'm going to keep working this into my crease again, but just a little bit lower than the last shade, and yeah, just around here just to blend it. Okay, so yeah, that's gone on lovely, really happy with that. So then I'm going to use a shimmer on this inner part here, and I think I'm going to go for this one here, which is the one that I showed you on the swatches, you know, was really lovely. But I'm going to use this shade here underneath. So I'm going to go on with the matte shade first. And just use that on the inner part, just here. I've just been doing this recently. I did it as a one-off because there were two colours. There was a matte colour and then there was a shimmer in, I can't remember which palette it was, but a palette. And I thought I'd try it just to see, you know, what it did. And it really made the shimmer that I put over the top like really pop, and it sat really nice as well. So I've kind of been doing it ever since. But yeah, I just think that they blend a lot better with like a matte shade underneath them. Right, so just like that. And then I'm going to take the shimmer, which as I say was this one just here, and pop that over the top of where I've just placed that matte shade. Not sure how it's going to go on with the brush because it doesn't seem to have picked it up the best on the brush. Yeah, it's okay. It's quite, with the brush it's quite subtle. I think I'm going to have to kind of use this as I normally would, to be honest with you, just to kind of get it where I want it, and then I'll use my finger afterwards. That's better. It's quite like for a shimmer shade, this one's quite a dry formula. So yeah, I think that's probably why it wasn't applying the best with a brush. You know, it's not that kind of squidgy, almost like a buttery texture, if you know what I mean. It's quite dry. But yeah, still very pretty though. Yeah, so we're kind of looking at that, which is, it is very, very pretty. But again, you know, it's more of like a little bit of a everyday glam, if you know what I mean, rather than an out glam. Right, so I'm just going to blend that colour into the matte shade. Right, so I'm really happy with that. So then on the underneath, I'm going to take the shade that I used in the crease, I think. So it was this one here, and just run that underneath my lower lash line. Okay, so like that, which I think that's really nice, really lovely. Right, so I'm just going to go away and pop some mascara on, and then I'll come back and we'll try out, I've got a blush and a lipstick to try out. Okay, so that's the eyes done. So next I'll move on to blush. So obviously there is a blush in the palette that I showed you earlier, but I've been sent this one as well. So this is, you know, a single blush. So the packaging looks like this. Again, absolutely stunning, really, really nice. Quite similar to the eyeshadow palette, you know, with the kind of envelope look. And then we have the cameo on the front there as well. And then the blush itself looks like this. So if I open it up, you can see it's absolutely stunning. So again, we've got this cameo embossed onto the actual blush itself. And the blush has got almost like a bit of a gradient ombre look. It's a very light pink at the top. And then still a light pink, but slightly darker than that shade just there underneath, which is absolutely beautiful. Really, really nice. So I'm going to try this one out. So I'm just going to go on with an angled brush. Just take, I think I'll take about that much. It looks fairly pigmented, but it does look quite light as well. So I tend to go more for like a slightly brighter pink or a kind of apricot shade. So I don't know if this is actually going to be a little bit too light for me. It's okay, actually. You can see it. I hope it's coming across on camera. So yeah, it is quite nice. If I'm being honest, it's probably a little bit too pale for me. But saying that, the actual formula of the blush is really nice, and it went on nicely. You know, I've got no complaints there at all. Yeah, it's just a little bit too pale for me. I prefer, you know, as I say, a bit more of a brighter pink, or even a kind of a peachy apricot shade. So I just dip back into the palette again, and we'll try out that highlighter that was in there as well. I forgot about that. So we will give that a whirl. I'm just going to take, it came off quite, I keep hitting the camera, it came off quite pigmented on the swatch. So I'll do a light dip. Maybe take a tiny bit more. Okay, it's pretty, it is really nice, but I don't know if you can see if I come up close, it's just here, and it kind of looks, it kind of sits on the top of my skin, if you know what I mean. It doesn't really melt in or anything. It just makes me look a little bit textured, if I'm honest. So it's probably not one that I will dip into myself. But I can imagine this would look lovely, you know, if you've got a perfect, if you're young basically, or you've got like perfect skin, this will look really nice. It's just on me, it does look quite textured just here. But yeah, I love the eyeshadows though, so I will still get my use out of the palette. It's just, I'll pop it on this cheek just to match it up. But yeah, the highlight is just not for me. Yeah, I think it's a shame because it's a beautiful colour. It's a really, really nice colour. I'll probably use it as an eyeshadow, like, you know, inner corners, that sort of thing. But yeah, it's just not for my skin type, if you know what I mean. I think it's because it's quite powdery. So yeah, there we go. Right, so next I have this lipstick to try. So the packaging looks like this, very classy black, I would say. And then this looks so pretty. This is the actual lipstick itself. How beautiful is that? So we've got this kind of real shimmery look. And when I swatched this, because I did a short, and when I swatched, I was quite shocked because I expected it to be almost like this, I don't know, really like a rusty sort of colour, but it comes off, I'll swatch it for you now, like a really stunning deep red, really, really nice. And with no shimmer in it, it's actually matte. So the shimmer is just kind of like for show on the outside, if you know what I mean. But yeah, so we're going to pop this one on. I think I'm going to need a lip liner with this. So I'm just going to quickly stick a lip liner on and then we'll try out the lipstick. Okay, so liner on. So I'm going to go on with this colour now. It's actually quite a lot lighter or brighter actually in shade than the liner that I used. I struggled to find a similar colour. But it is a stunning, stunning colour, a really nice red. And the formula of the lipstick as well feels really nice. It almost feels quite velvety when you put it on. Yeah, quite hydrating feeling as well. Yeah, I really like that. I think that is a beautiful, beautiful lipstick. Okay, so here is the finished look. I really like this. I think it's very, very pretty. The lipstick is lovely. The eyes I really like as well. The matte shades in particular in the eyeshadow palette were stunning. Beautiful formula, really, really nice. The shimmers were pretty as well. The one in particular that I used, I think it was just quite dry, but it went on fine with the finger. It's just, it didn't apply the best with a brush, or a dry brush, I should say. The blush is in itself is a beautiful product. Again, really nice formula. It went on nicely. It's just not quite my shade. It's a bit pale for me. But, you know, as a blush in itself, I think it's a beautiful, beautiful product. The highlighter, as I showed you, looks a little bit textured on me. It's quite powdery. But again, if you had less mature skin, shall we say, and yeah, not as much texture as I've got, then I think it would look really lovely. And the lipstick I think is beautiful, really nice colour actually, and it feels lovely on as well. I think it's lovely. Yeah, really nice, beautiful, beautiful makeup. So as always, all products shown in today's video I will link in the description box below for you, along with any discount codes or anything like that. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed watching, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up and I'd really appreciate it. It'd mean the absolute world to me if you did enjoy watching this video and you would like to see more content from me in the future, and you would like to subscribe to my channel. Until then, thanks for watching. Bye!